Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Alicia. How are you on this lovely Friday? Hello, Tinley Michelle. Hello, Billy. How are you? How are you on this lovely Friday afternoon for me, lunchtime for you? Still very much light outside. It's not cold, but it's not hot. So I'm not complaining. Hey, Teresa. Happy Friday. Hey, Tracy. Happy Friday. So, what am I reading? Same thing I was reading last week. I'm reading Daughters of the Dust by Julie Dash, and I'm reading The Unheralded King of Preston Plains Middle. So, hopefully, I will finish one or both of these this weekend. I don't know because it just depends on how that weekend be going. But what are you reading? Hmm. Yes, T Green, you are on time. Alba, hola. Hello, DL. How are you? Welcome. Every time I see hola, I want to say hola niños. Because I used to teach English to little kids with two other ladies. One was Chilean and the other one was Italian. And the Chilean one, she used to always start the class, "Aló niños." So every time I hear "Hola niños," I just think of niños. I have to say "Hola niños" like that, like I'm talking to some little kids or something. But it's the only Spanish I know, Alba. No, I know casa. So that's it. I don't know nothing else. Okay, so Tracy is reading A Trace of Sun by Pam Williams. Yeah, that one is good. I read it. It was good. It was good. It was sad, but it was good. Mm. So what's everybody reading? DL, what are you reading? Hey, Raymond. Dr. Raymond is in the house. Welcome, welcome. How are you? What are you guys reading? Okay. Um, let's see. Tinley says listening to Life and Other Love Songs, okay, by Anissa Gray. And reading God Don't Like Ugly by Mary Monroe. I know that title, but I have not read the book. Raymond is reading Black Was the Ink by Michelle Coles. Is that nonfiction or fiction? DL said I took 3 years of Spanish and I remember more than I thought I would, but still not much. I kind of understand if I hear it. Yeah. Well, I mean, don't fault the schoolwork because sometimes that school Spanish or that school French or that school whatever is still there. It's still in your brain. You did learn something. Okay, so Alba is finishing Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. Is that fiction or nonfiction? Is that fiction or nonfiction? Because that's what I never really understood about family lore. Billy is still reading Children of Blood and Bone. Oh, you're reading a YA historical fiction. Black was the ink. Okay, I didn't know that was YA. I don't keep up with YA like that, so I wouldn't recognize it was YA. Yeah, I don't really keep up with YA like that, but I know I was gonna attempt Children of Blood and Bone, but I just like no. I didn't even try. I just knew that was not gonna go right for me. So I just said no, I'm not even gonna bother. Let's see. Tracy said she bought Leaving Cecil Street, Night Wherever We Go, and The House of Broken Bricks. Very nice. Cecil Street's very good. Leaving Cecil Street's very good. Old but good. Oldie but goodie. Night Wherever We Go, that's a good one too, but it's a new one. And The House of Broken Bricks is also a new one, but from this year. Hey, Teresa is reading The Secret Library of Kekla Magoon, middle grade. Okay. Author featured at the Gathersburg Book Festival. Okay. Oh, you're starting Rebecca tonight. Ooh, you're gonna like that. It's good, Rebecca. DL said reading a glut of stuff. Finished a little bit kissing between friends. That's by Chanika Higgins. It's a romance arc. Okay. Oh, you just got approved for A Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. I recognize that now. Also listening to a thriller by Melinda Lee. I don't know Melinda Lee. We all need some variety. Yes, we do. Oh, yeah, Robin Miles. Okay. Oh, it's fiction. Okay. I wasn't sure. I don't know why I thought this was nonfiction. About Dominican diaspora elder sisters planning her living wake. Oh wow. Okay. Um yeah, Night Wherever We Go is a very good book. And I'm sad to say it just got missed. I don't think people actually really read the book, but I absolutely thought it was very, very good, especially because it was a debut. Hey Nicole, happy Friday. What are you reading? I mean, I talked about it on my channel. I hoped more people would try to pick it up, but I feel like there's a strong disdain for reading about slavery in the community. So I think that has a lot to do with why people didn't read it. Sadly. Okay. Mex Lieber says just finished The House of Doors, and we'll start Lone Women by Victor Laval. Very nice. Hey Margaret, how you doing? What you reading? Uh yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is part of the problem. The slave narratives, mm, people don't want to read slave narratives. I think that's what it's really about. But I feel like it's just not so cut and dry as that because I mean, I've read quite a few slave narratives over the past 2 to 3 years, and the thing that I liked about them was that they told different, stories around, slavery that we're not used to hearing in slave narratives. So, I'm not mad with it, if it's good, I'll read it, and, I mean, Night Wherever We Go was this was a good book. Um Yeah, it was a good book. Okay, so Nicola's reading Daughters of the Dust. Thought I was going to finish in the airport, but airline travel is stressful. Yeah, ooh, yeah, I don't like traveling anymore either. Uh, okay. Hey, Tatiana in the house. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. What you reading? What you reading, Tatiana? What you reading? So, yeah. Anyway, Um, what else was I gonna say? Um, just started the Gilded Years. Yes, I have that book on my TBR, The Gilded Years by Karen Tanabe. It's about passing at Vassar. That's right, in the 1890s. Yeah, but I've not heard not a bad thing about that novel. Now the only thing is I haven't heard that a lot of people have really read it, but I mean I'm sure it's going to be really good. I can remember seeing 1 or 2 reviews on it and people they really raved about it. Oh, you're gonna start a graphic novel. Yeah, graphic novel is a good way to start back. Yes, Night Wherever We Go was a debut, but it was a good debut. That lady can write. Okay, so your husband bought you 2, oldies but goodies, reissues of Virginia DeBerry and Donna Grant. Okay. Um, oh, yeah, you're enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like 'cause it came out Night Wherever We Go came out last year, if I'm not mistaken, and it was, like, March or April or something like that. But it was at a period where they had a bunch of other books came out as well, and I think more than half of them were by debut authors anyway. So, it's tough with all these new books coming out all the time. Um Representation of racist classmates is uncomfortable, but atmosphere, I suppose yeah. It's yeah, but I mean if it's authentic, if it feels authentic, then it's authentic, you know. The Karen Tanabe, I think she isn't she like I think she's part Asian, part um maybe white American or something. I'm not really sure, but I know she has mixed race origins. So, but yeah, I'm like interested in reading that one. I think I mean, like I said, I've not heard anything really bad about it. No, I did not hear that she has I knew she had garden books out, but I didn't know she had a garden book out for particularly for Black children. That I did not know. Okay, so Teresa said she enjoyed Night Wherever We Go as well. Um, yeah, it was a good one, but it just didn't pick up like I thought it would. I thought more people would read it, you know, and talk about it, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I know there are gonna be some new ones coming out because what are we're about to hit June, so there must be some new books getting ready to come out in June, but I don't really keep up with them like that. Um, you know, it's just because there's just a lot. I know, the one by, oh gosh, what is her name? Oh, I can't remember the lady's name. Her new book is coming out, I think it's in June. Um, what is that lady's name? Let me see if I can find her name. Mm, what is her name? Tasha R. Thomas. Her new book is coming out, The Secret Keeper of Main Street. That's coming out on June 4th, and I'm excited for that one for sure. I would love to read that one because her first book was was called What Passes as Love. That book was good, and not a lot of people read that one either. But that book was good, really, really good. Let's see. Happy Friday, Bethany. What are you reading? Like the stream. In the Country by Mia Alvar. Okay. um, and then of course, you know, Leonard Pitts Jr.'s book is coming out in July. It's not coming out in September, it's coming out at the end of July. I think it's the 20 something of July. So those are the only two new books that I have on my radar for the moment because I haven't really been looking to see what else is out there because you know you start looking and you find stuff. um yeah, she wrote the Napoli Ever After books. That's right. That's correct, DL. Teresa said I cook you ready, Rach. Oh yeah, Rach is so good. Yeah, I know, right? It's so funny. I mean, the part where he writes the you know the ghetto novel in the middle is to die for. So good. Yeah, what passes as love is a very good storyline. Because like literally you have a young woman who's a slave and she winds up passing as just like a regular young white woman and winds off wandering off with two men because there's a little situation happens and she winds up living on a plantation like three plantations over as a white woman. That book was so good to me. I mean, so good. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Phyllis says she has an arc. I have an arc as well. She I have an ebook. I have an ebook of 54 miles. They wrote me a really nice letter. I said, "Oh, we know you're a big fan of Leonard Pitts Jr. We're giving you this arc." And then I said, "Can you like send me like a finished copy as well?" They said, "Sure, no problem." I was like, "Okay, great." His new one, 54 miles. 54 miles, which is not as long as I thought it was going to be one of those long big ones. But it's actually just like 300 and something pages. What passes as love is what you're talking about, though. Let's see if I can find it on here. What passes as love? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Okay. It looks like this. What passes as love? Very, 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 very good book. Well written. It's got a lot of it just has a lot of little details and things in it that I think are written really well that tell a really great story, but tell it in a different way. It's not like, the typical, slave narrative. Hey, Tangible reads, hey girl, how you doing? What you reading? So I mean, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. They sent me the arc and I read it and I was like, well, this is good. Now I haven't read her Napoli Ever After series. I haven't read that, but that's a different kind. That's more contemporary. And What Passes as Love is it's kind of like more like historical fiction kind of thing. But I liked it. I thought it was really good. So she's writing a new one, and her new one is about a young black woman who works in like she's like a seamstress, but her problem is if she touches someone's hand or arm, she can see their future, particularly the woman's future as a married woman. So a lot of young women go there to see what their future is going to be like. And so that's what the basis of her new book is about. So that sounds to me like something that could be very interesting. Like she could really make that into a good story. So um yeah, that's Trisha R. Thomas. Check her out. She's good. Yeah, she can see the future when she touches the person's hand. But like you probably shouldn't be telling everybody their future. I mean, even if you do have that luxury, if you consider that a luxury, you probably shouldn't be telling everybody, their future. But that's what the basis of the story is about, is from what I understand. So um, I can't wait. It's coming out the 4th of June. So if you're interested, get a copy. You never know. Go to her page because she may be giving some copies away. I don't really know, but sometimes some authors do that. They give copies away, like right around the time the book is supposed to be coming out. So yeah, yeah. This the Secret Keeper of Main Street sounds like a good one. She seems to be a good writer. I mean, an interesting writer. Now, has anybody in here read her Napoli Ever After series? I did see the adaptation. I think it was on Netflix. And it was the adaptation. I think it was good, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't read the book, but Good storyline. Oh, you were over the Napoli series. Yeah, well, What Passes as Love is that's a totally different kettle of fish. It's more like historical fiction kind of thing. Um, and she does it really well. She puts enough like different things in there to keep you interested. I mean, I read it pretty quickly because it was, I wanted to know what was going to happen next kind of thing. And it reads really well, and it's very different from a typical slave narrative. It's different. So I highly recommend it for people who don't particularly like reading slave narratives. Read that one, it's really good. Phyllis said it never really appealed to me. Well, I never even got to it, so nah. I just watched the series because I needed something to watch. I watched it and it was all right. Um, yeah, she maybe did run Napoli in because what is it, six books? I think it's a lot more than three. I think it's like six books or something. Hey Celeste, how are you? What are you reading? Yeah, I think that Napoli Ever After series, I think it's six books. It's a lot. Um, oh, you felt like it wasn't your age group. Oh, geez. It's 9 books? I thought it was only 6. Holy crap. 9 books? Yeah, no, that's too much. Okay, so Margaret said she just picked up a Ventures copy of Stendhal. Oh, Le Rouge et le Noir, the red and the black. I have that on my list to read next year in French. 9 books is too much. That's too much. Hey D, what's up? What you reading for the BookTube prize? Oh my God, it was your non-DNF stage? Oh Jesus. That must have been hard. No, I don't give a crap. I would DNF something in a minute. DNF it in a minute. Yeah, a trilogy. I think it depends. But I think as a whole, a trilogy is far that's like the best. That's like the sweet spot. But I'll accept a quartet if it's really working. So for example, something like the Neapolitan Quartet, now that can do no wrong. Excellent. 4 books, let me tell you, you start reading that and you don't want it to end. So for the quartet, for the Neapolitan series, that works. But I have to agree with you, Tinley. 3 books is probably the sweet spot. Oh, okay. Oh, you're listening to Blackouts and North Woods for BookTube. I hear North Woods is supposed to be good. Yeah, I think I remember seeing Blackouts all over the place. I don't know what it's about though. What do you mean? A Trace of Sun was long lived. What do you mean by that? Let's see. North Woods has a whole cast of narrators. Oh, okay. So it's multiple voices. Companion series. Okay. Okay. No, but look, I that is out of the ordinary, Albert, that I would read such a long series. In any other day of the week, I would have never read a 20-book series. But since I had been wanting to read Zola for a long time, and I knew that it was a series, that's why I read it. I don't perceive myself reading another 20-book series anytime soon. I don't want to say no, but I don't think I will. because it takes up a lot of your energy and time. You have to be very persistent and stay on track. We were lucky, we stayed on track. We finished the 20 books in 2 years and 3 months. And I feel like that's damn good, that we finished it in 2 years and 3 months. Um, but in general, I'm not a series person, not in general. Mm, Devil is Fine by John Vircher. It's holding my attention, smartly written in the same vein as Beatty. And oh, so it's what do you call that? It's satire. I don't know about satire doesn't like if you ask me which satire I prefer between Beatty and Everett, I'm gonna pick Everett all day, every day. Beatty was like, I don't know, I wasn't feeling Beatty. Not like Everett. I prefer Everett. I don't know if it's good or not, but I've only heard people say good things about it. And I'm interested in reading it, but I don't know much else about it. But I wouldn't be mad at trying it. No, series are just kind of like I'm like, just enough already. Get the story written and finish this damn thing. To me, series kill the book, kill everything. Uh, okay, so hello, Birdie. Birdie in the books is reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Okay, now I have a copy of that book, and I think I attempted to read it once, and I did not. It did not take. So I don't know. Maybe I will try to read that again at another moment. I'm not sure. That's another big book too. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I spread the Zola bug. Well, the Zola bug is can only be spread amongst people who love descriptive writing. If you do not love descriptive writing, then give it a miss. That's all I gotta say. So I know a lot of people don't like highly descriptive novels. So I don't, I mean, I won't be surprised if many people won't read Zola, but I feel like if you're gonna read it and you don't want to read 20 books, then just pick out one or two. It's really easy, which ones you should pick out to read. Read those. The books they feel like standalones, so you can still, pick up one or two. It was long listed, but it wasn't shortlisted. Have I ever wished a book was a series? No, I don't think I ever have. That's a damn good question. I don't think I ever have wanted a book to be a series. It's really not my thing, series. I don't think I have, Nicole. No, I haven't. Oh God, Grisham. Lord Jesus, Grisham. Okay, not really satire, but effortlessly but cleverly insightful, funny, backed with an intelligent argument on controversial topics. Okay. Hey, lady, how are you? What are you reading? Uh, yeah, see, tangible reason. I'm not into the serious thing either. I mean, I just feel like, damn, just read, just write the book and get it over with. Why do we need a series? Because I feel like series have a tendency to be like TV series to a certain extent. So you know how some TV series, they'll start and then they'll end like around season 4 or 5, and it's just like you good. Everything ends and you're good. And then there's those series that be going on to season 14 and 15. No, that's where it just gets to be just a bit too much, in my opinion. Dee said Northwoods has multiple narrators, and it is good. A single house in New England woods, and the stories of its inhabitants throughout the centuries. Oh, that sounds good. JS and MN, I was good for that genre. Okay, I don't feel guilty when D. No, I don't feel guilty either when DNFing a book. A series, so maybe that's a crucial. No, I don't feel. I don't see why I should feel guilty for DNFing the book. If you're not, if it's not jiving for you, you're not feeling it. Then why are you wasting your time reading it? You clearly don't like it. So just move on. Pass. Oh, those are some very different writers now, Margaret. Zola is not Stendhal, is not Balzac. No. Zola has the 20 book series Rougon Macquart. Stendhal is famous writer of Le Rouge et Noir, or the Red and Black. And Balzac has a long series of books. I think there might be, oh my God, like 40 books or something in there. It's like a really long series of books. So he's the one that wrote Le Père Goriot, Cousin Bette, um, but he is slightly different writer from Zola because Zola's a naturalist writer. And Balzac is kind of a naturalist writer, but he goes about it in a different way. So they're very different. But I think once you read a book from each one, you'll understand what the difference is between them for sure. Oh, you wish that some books had like which ones, Raymond, you wish had a sequel? I don't know. Some of the sellout just made me cringe. Just, and I feel like when satire makes me cringe, there's something it doesn't go over well with me. But like what I like is I like the way Percival Everett writes satire. He's so funny. It's just so funny. And he knows how to make his point so well. So funny and just done to perfection. Yeah, like Grey's Anatomy, 308 seasons, exactly. But that's too much. No, I don't feel guilty about that. Why should you feel guilty about unhauling the book that you haven't read? That just means either you bought the book and left it on your shelf too long, and when you picked it up, you're like, "Nah, I'm never gonna read this." Or you picked up the book and you started to read it and realized, "Oh crap, I don't like this book at all." So you got to give it away. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Unhaul it. Do an unhaul video. I think I did one unhaul video. All the books that either I had read and just didn't care about keeping, or hadn't read yet and realized I was never going to read them. Didn't care. Oh yeah, I do too. Wondering, Nicole, what some of the characters are up to. Yes, but as far as making a series about it or a sequel, no. What do you mean? Are they similar themes? Or what similar themes? I still haven't read The Street. I need to read that. Oh, a ride or die Grisham fan? Oh no, not me. Leaving Cecil Street because it's good and it's probably a faster read. Yeah, Law and Order is another one of those shows. It's got like 50 million, I don't know, episodes. I've unhauled so. Yeah, I have no qualms about unhauling a book. I feel like the more the merrier. Unhaul it. If you're not gonna read it, unhaul the bitch. Nobody's gonna read it, so unhaul it. Why are you keeping it? I don't make a lot of unhauls because I don't make that many mistakes. But like when you're doing like if you're sifting through, you're doing a cull. Yeah, unhaul. There's nothing wrong with unhauling. I feel no qualms about unhauling. You think there could be a sequel to the love songs? You mean she didn't say enough in the what is that, 600 at 700 and some pages? Okay, you wanna see what happens to, Allie's life after. Hey, Curly Q. Hey, 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 what's up? What you reading? Oh, I didn't do any 17th century. I did 18th and 19th, but I didn't do any 17th. Yes, schedule that blog. I'll watch it. Yeah. Okay, so you listen to What's Done in the Dark by Rhonda Tate Billingsley. It was a hot mess, reminding me of 90s urban drama. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, do you really want to watch the new Law and Order series? I mean, it's just more of the same, I'm imagine, with different actors, some of the actors being different. Okay, Teresa said definitely wanted more with love songs. Mm. Yeah, I need to read love songs as well this year, but I just don't know when I'm going to read it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think isn't the same Law and Order? Isn't it the same? I don't think the name has changed. Mm. New Law and Order. Wow. Some people can't even believe that it's still going on. I know. I know. It's still going on. It's still going on. Still going on in Law and Order. Still going on. So that's why I don't get into series. Like book series are just kind of like they exhaust me. But if it's three books, I'm okay. If it's four, I'm okay. But don't keep going and going and going and going unless you really got something to say that's really interesting. Yeah, it's still Law and Order. That's what I thought. It's just a reboot. Um, Criminal Intent. Okay, that seems a bit over the top. Mm. But it's all the same actors, right? Except for like maybe one or two have changed, if I'm not mistaken. One or two of them have changed. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I feel like in the US, there is a real fascination with crime and serial killers and stuff like that. There's a real fascination with it. So those kind of stories are just, in series or even mini series. These are just really, really popular. It's just so sad that people want to watch other people's, crazy. I don't get it. Yeah, it can be unhealthy because, people are like obsessed. They're not watching a series, they're listening to, podcasts and they're, ugh, I don't know how they do it. I can't. That's too depressing. Wait, that's right, went away. Yes, the US is fascinated with sexual deviants and murderers. Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, it does seem that way, Tatiana. It does seem that way. Mm, which is, I mean, it is what it is. I want to ask you guys a question. I was listening to a podcast earlier today. I was listening to what is the name of that podcast? TBR Lowdown. I was listening to one of their older podcasts where they were talking about the Great American novels. So it was the Atlantic put out a list of what they consider to be the Great American novels. So I'm putting it to you the question: what do you consider to be, oh no, what would be your definition of a great American novel if you think that really exist great American novels? That's the question. Yes, DL, great American novels. And then I'm gonna show you what's on the Atlantic's list. Because when you see what's on the Atlantic's list, I mean, some of them I could agree, yeah, okay, maybe. And then some of them I'm like, I don't know about that. Okay, so Nicole says to me, a great American novel is one that sums up the American experience very well. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Problem is, I feel like because America is composed of so many different types of Americans, uh, a great American novel has to reflect its country. So you can't have a list where most of the books are written by white men. That would be crazy. Um, Bethany says maybe a book that speaks specific time period in American history, and it's beautifully written, like The Great Gatsby, Beloved, The Grapes of Wrath. Yeah, okay. There was some melanin in there. There could have been a bit more, but there was some in there. Yes. The Great American Novel also stands the test of time. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Dee says, great story, well developed characters, relatable to American society and country. Agreed. Totally agreed. The Octopus by Frank Norris. I don't know that one. It's not famous. Outlines monopolies, greed, corruption, small farmers. Oh wait, let me write that down. What's it called? The Octopus. Wait, let's see. By Frank Norris. I don't know this one. Okay. Tinley says, I think the warmth of other suns. Okay, no, I think they specifically were discussing novels, not nonfiction, not nonfiction, because that's totally different. Think of fiction novels. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's why when you say it, that's the difference between saying great American novels and the great American novel. So I think the list is great American novels, is how they present the list, the Atlantic. Charlotte's Web. Oh my God, I love that story. It does hold up surprisingly because the themes are very strongly woven in that story and they're done extremely well. Okay, I don't know. I might look at it because sometimes these older out of the limelight kind of books sometimes give you a lot of give you a lot of food for thought. Yeah, we're talking novels, great American novel, not nonfiction, because that's totally different. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. If it was a novel, it would definitely be on there for sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Nicole. It has to be timeless, and that's sometimes I think in some places where it doesn't always work. Haha, Harlem Renaissance books. Okay, I see Charlotte's Web, Mice and Men, 1984. What do you mean by they're problematic? Because I mean, it's not because a novel is problematic, it can't be American. It can't be a great American novel because living in America can be problematic. So, uh, yes, I agree, Raymond. You got that right. Great American novels should not be dry. No, it should not be dry. In no sense of the word dry should it be. Let me see if I can tell you some of the ones that were on there. Let's see. Wait, hold on one second. Turn this out. Let's see. Okay, so The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Um, I think George Orwell was British, yeah, possibly. Okay, now I don't think Roots is on the list. All right, I'm just gonna read some books and you can and just I'll just see what your reactions are. So the first four books: The Great Gatsby, An American Tragedy by Theodore Dreiser, The Making of Americans by Gertrude Stein, and Death Comes for the Archbishop by Willa Cather. Um, yeah, because The Great Gatsby, I think, is it's a really good book. It really does talk about, what it is to be other and not fit into a community. But of those 4 books, I've only read Great Gatsby. I've not read An American Tragedy. I've not read The Making of Americans, Gertrude Stein, which I probably need to get on some Gertrude Stein because I haven't read any. And same Willa Cather. I haven't read any Willa Cather. So yeah. Uh, America's entire hemisphere. You enjoyed The Great Gatsby, one of the few I enjoyed in high school. Yeah, I enjoyed The Great Gatsby as well. There's a whole thing on this idea that Gatsby could have been black. I don't know if you've heard people talk about that. I've seen a couple of blog posts about this kind of idea that Gatsby might have actually been black, white passing black, you know. Some people have done things on that. I think and actually their thoughts were pretty credible. Um a yawn fest. It's not a yawn fest. Uh okay, on the all right, so some more. A Farewell to Arms, Ernest Hemingway. Passing, Nella Larson. The Sound and the Fury, William Faulkner. Absalom, Absalom, William Faulkner. Okay, I have only read their. I've read A Farewell to Arms. I've read Passing. I've read The Sound and the Fury. I have not read Absalom, Absalom. Next we have Nightwood by Juna Barnes. Now I have read that. I read that and I discussed it with Christy on the podcast. We were both like, no, was not our cup of tea. Um, yeah, you heard that about the Black Gatsby. I think it's kind of I like that kind of thought process around it. Yeah, Gatsby could have been passing. I like that idea. Yeah, but I think that's just the way they put it on the thing. Okay, next we have East Goes West by Young Hill Kang. I have not read that. Their Eyes Were Watching God. I have read that. Another one is USA by John Dos Passos. Ask the Dusk by John Fant. The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. Day of the Locust by Nathaniel West. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Native Son by Richard Wright. And The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, Carson McCullers. No, it's not even about giving it credit. It's an interpretation. That's all. It's just an interpretation. No, some of these are not books that they signed in high school. I mean, some of these books, I haven't even heard of some of these books. Okay, so the next one's A Time to Be Born by Dawn Powell. I don't know this one. All the King's Men, Robert Penn Warren. The Street, Ann Petrie. In a Lonely Place, Dorothy B. Hughes. The Mountain Lion by Gene Stafford. The Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger. Charlotte's Web, E.B. White. Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison. And Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury. So a couple of these I have read. I'm sure a couple of these you guys have read as well. Um, yeah, I agree. It's like the American dream is a lie. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like for me, my favorite from him is East of Eden, Can Do No Wrong. Grapes of Wrath is good, but it gets boring after a while. But the East of Eden, that book is popping. That's where it's at. Yeah. Yeah, no, they did put some it's I don't know, it was a group of people who put this together. I don't have all the details on that, but the list is interesting to say the least. Okay, next we have this is a good one. Maud Martha, Gwendolyn Brooks. That's a good one. The Adventures of Augie March, Saul Bellow. Lolita, Vladimir Nabokov. Oh, that's a good one too. Giovanni's Room, James Baldwin. Peyton Place, Grace Metalius. Deep Water by Patricia Highsmith. I have not read any Patricia Highsmith. No No Boy by John Okada. I haven't heard of that one before. That one's from 1957. On the Road, Jack Kerouac, and The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. You weren't wowed by the street? Mm, I can't say I haven't read it yet. I need to sit down and read the street. I need to make that a. I need to squelch that one and read it. I don't know. I might be like you, Phyllis. I might not be that over the moon about it either. But I'll have to sit down and read that one because that's one that I have been putting off reading. Okay, the next ones I have Catch 22, Joe Teller, A Wrinkle in Time, Madeline L'Engle, Another Country, James Baldwin, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Ken Casey, Pale Fire, Vladimir Nabokov, The Zebra Striped Hearse by Ross MacDonald, The Bell Jar, Sylvia Plath, The Group by Mary McCarthy, The Crying of Lot 49, Thomas Pynchon. I don't know about that Thomas Pynchon. I don't know. No, because I feel like Giovanni's Room does a good job of talking um about you know being a part of the status quo means you have to do everything like the status quo, and that main character was he was suffering like there was no way he was going to do what people expected him to do completely. I don't know about pension. Yeah, I mean I don't know cuz yeah. But this is one of his shorter books. This is his short one, but still. I haven't read One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, that's maybe one. Okay, we go on. A Sport and Pastime by James Salter. Couples by John Updike. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? That's Philip K. Dick. Divorcing by Susan Taubes. Portnoy's Complaint by Philip Roth. And that is, I mean, there are other Philip Roths that are better, but anyway, whatever. Slaughterhouse Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. Desperate Characters by Paula Fox, and Play It as It Lays by Joan Didion. So that's that one. Oh, you tried reading Cuckoo's Nest? Oh, you had a DNF. Oh, okay. Well, Philip Roth, the one that I really like is the Plot Against America. OMG. That book right there, fantastic. This is one where it's like alternate universe where um it's not FDR that wins the presidential election. It's what's his name that wins instead. Oh, I can't think what his name is right now. And he's like really fascist and the US turns into an anti-Semitic country and the main character is a young boy who is Jewish family and the story is being told from his point of view. The Plot Against America is so good. That's a good one. Yeah, Charles Lindbergh. Yeah, Lindbergh wins instead of FDR, and America just goes into this spiral of fascism, and you see the fallout of that. And it's done really, really well. Great book from him. All right, next we have Log of the SS, the Mrs. Un, Unguintain, Stanley Crawford, 1974. Mumbo Jumbo, Ishmael Reed. That's good to see on there. Sula, Toni Morrison. The Revolt of the Cockroach People. Oh, this one I don't know. Oscar Zeta Acosta, 1973. Oreo by Fran Ross. I have that book. I still haven't read it though yet. The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Winter in the Blood by James Welch. Corregidora, Gail Jones. Speedboat by Renata Adler. Okay, so that's kind of an interesting group there of books. Has anybody read Oreo? Fran Ross? Or Mumbo Jumbo by Ishmael Reed? I have both of those on my TBR to read, on my long TBR. And if you haven't read Corregidora by Gail Jones, what are you waiting for? Read it because it's good. Okay, next. Are any younger than Sula? Well, these are all they've been going up they went from I think the 20s up. So now we're in the 70s. Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko. Song of Solomon, Toni Morrison. A Contract with God, Will Eisner. Dancer from the Dance, Andrew Holleran. The Stand by Stephen King. Kindred, Octavia E. Butler. The Dog of the South by Charles Portis. Housekeeping, Marilyn Robinson. And The Salt Eaters, Tony K. Bambara. Wait, let's see. Oh, I read Oreo years ago. It's I. Okay. It's akin to passing. Okay. So you're telling me you preferred passing. Is that what you're telling me, Phyllis? Oh, you have Ceremony on your shelf? Okay. Mm, yeah, Mumbo Jumbo's on my list as well. Oh, you were born in the same city as Ishmael Reed. Yeah, Corregidor is not an easy read. It can be triggering. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Kindred is very good. That's a great story. Salt Eaters is very good as well. Okay, next one we have Little Big or The Fairies Parliament by John Crowley. Ox Herding Tale by Charles Johnson. Machine Dreams by Jane Ann Phillips. Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. A Summons to Memphis by Peter Taylor. Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. That's good. Watchmen is good. Now, I'm surprised they put Watchmen on there because that's like a comic, okay, but it's good. Beloved by Toni Morrison. Dawn by Octavia E. Butler, which I love that book. That was good. Geek Love by Catherine Dunn. So that's an interesting one there because now I haven't read any Cormac McCarthy, but I think Blood Meridian is one of the faves of people that like his writing, if I'm not mistaken. I just, yeah, Roxane Gay books can be hard to read. They can be very disturbing and hard to read, for sure. For sure. Next, we have Trip Master Monkey by Maxine Hong Kingston. Dog Eaters by Jessica Hagedorn. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, which I have not read that book and I don't think I'll ever read it. How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents. I read that with Christy. It's all right, but it does give a perspective, American perspective, because you have the girls and the parents, they immigrate, and it's we see them try to you know get into American society. Yeah, looks like we got some bots. I don't know if Tatiana's still there. She can get them out. Let's see if I can get them out. Um, okay, I think they're gone. Um, it was all right. I think we gave it like a 3 star. It wasn't. Yeah, there was some bots in, so I think I got them out. I don't know if they come back, zap them. No worries, no worries. So, okay, so we have also Mating by Norman Rush, Bastard Out of Carolina by Dorothy Allison. I remember when that book came out. The Secret History. Now, I don't know about why would The Secret History be on this list. For me, it doesn't feel like, and I haven't read this book, but I know what it's about, and it just doesn't seem to jive with Great American Novel for me. Yeah, I thought it was meh. It was all right. It was all right. And I feel like the problem with that one is that you have, I think it's 4 daughters, but you only really hear from one. So it's like, why are we only hearing from one daughter? I don't know. There's something about the way the story is told that doesn't come off right. And it just makes it kind of dry. Um which 2 books do you have by Gail Jones? You DNF Secret History. I just don't think that. Hey Latrice, I just don't feel like the Secret History that to me doesn't go under the category of Great American Novel. But I mean, that's just me. Then we have Stone Butch Blues by Leslie Feinberg. The Shipping News by Annie Proulx. I read that. That was depressing as hell, and I did not enjoy reading that. Native Speaker by Chang Ray Lee. Sabbath Theater by Philip Roth. Under the Feet of Jesus by Helena Maria Viramontes. I hope I'm saying that correct. Infinite Jest, David Foster Wallace. I Love Dick by Chris Kraus. Underworld by Don DeLillo. This one is one that everybody says is a must read. This is the Great Rich White Elite American Novel. I just don't feel like it just does not, that just, no, that's not giving me Great American Novel. Then they have The Intuitionist by Colson Whitehead, which is pretty interesting. Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates. Then it starts to get kind of weird now because now we're in the 2000s. So the novels you're gonna recognize the names and you're either gonna be like, nah, or you're gonna be like, okay. So we have House of Leaves. I don't get it. I don't get why House of Leaves would be the great American novel, but they put that on there. Let's see. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. That's been on my list to read for a while now. I need to squelch that one. The Last Samurai by Helen DeWitt. The Quick and the Dead by Joy Williams. Erasure, Percival Everett. I the Divine by Rabbi Alamedine. The Corrections, Jonathan Franzen. Caramello by Sandra Cisneros. Perma Red by Deborah Magpie Erling. Okay. Oh, you DNF the Intuitionist? You didn't get along with it? I'm not surprised. I mean, it's Colson Whitehead. A lot of people don't get along with his writing. Okay, next they have The Russian Debutante's Handbook by Gary Steingart. Now, I don't like his style of writing. I read one book by him and I was just like, I'll never read another book by him. Did not like his writing style. Then we have The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. Um, yeah, well, it's fine. Veronica by Mary Catskill. The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I love that book. That's a great book by Gino Diaz. Fantastic. That's a 5 star. A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I have not read that book, but Christy says it's so good. I Hotel by Karen Tay Yamashita, I guess. Open City by Teju Cole. I haven't read anything by Teju Cole. Has anybody in here read anything by Teju Cole? Because I would be curious. Yeah, Oscar Wilde was fire. That book is 5 stars. Like, if y'all haven't read that, read that. It's good. Has anybody read Open City or anything by Teju Cole? Because that's somebody I need to probably try. Salvage the Bones, Jesmyn Ward. The Roundhouse by Louise Erdrich. Americana, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Nevada by Imogene Beanie. A Brief History of Seven Killings. Come on, Marlon James is on here. This is a good book, y'all. Family Life by Akhil Sharma. That's a good book too. I read that with my book club in Normandy. It was pretty good. Fates and Furies, Lauren Groff. No, that was boring as hell. I'm not sure why that's on there as a great American novel either. The story, no. Mm-mm. The Fifth Season, N.K. Jemisin is on here. The Sellout, Paul Beatty is on here. The Sympathizer, Viet Thanh Nguyen is on here. And that's a great book to sympathize. If you haven't read it, read that. It's good. Amiable with Big Teeth. That's another one that's on my TBR to read by Claude McKay. So I'm glad to see that's on here. I don't get along with Lauren Groff's style of writing either. I don't know. It's just so boring to me. I tried to read, no, I didn't try to read. I read Matrix cover to cover. And I think I read it in 3 days. And I was just so damn bored. I was just like, when is something going to happen? When is this writing going to get interesting? The storytelling is boring. I don't know. I don't get along with her writing style either. I don't like the way she tells stories. Yeah, I'm not interested. I don't understand why her book is on here either because it's boring. Lincoln in the Bardo, that's George Saunders. Sabrina, it's Nick. I guess his name is pronounced Renato. Severance by Ling Ma. I don't know this one. There, Tommy Orange. That was pretty popular. A lot of people like that one. Lost Children Archive by Valeria Luiselli. Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. The Old Drift by Nawali Serpel. Now we read that, but is Nawal Serpel, is she American as well? I don't know. But The Old Drift is a good book, but is it the great American novel? No, it doesn't even take place in America. So I don't get that. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Phyllis. It's not really the Great American Novel. It takes a lot of time. A lot of it is like in Jamaica and stuff. So I'm not sure how that's become the Great American Novel. I don't get it. No one is talking about this. I didn't read that, but it came out a couple of was it 2021 right after the pandemic. I think it got a lot of hype, but people either hated it or loved it. Yeah. The Love Songs of W.B. Du Bois. So it's on here. Biography of X by Catherine Lacey is on here as well. And that's the end of the list. So that's the Atlantic's Great American Novels. Now, as you can see, there's some on there that you just kind of go, huh? What? Why? Not sure. And then there's some where you think, okay, yeah, I could see how that would be on there. Oh, I'm reading the list from The Atlantic did a list of the great American novels. And so that was I was reading the books that were on the list. But in the beginning we talked about like what we thought would be what did a great American novel have to be? And everybody said great things. The novel has to be, timeless. It has to be a reflection of the American people, citizens, and society. I mean, they said great things about the novel. Now, a lot of the books on the list that I just read have that? I'm not so sure. I think I maybe read 30 books on the list of, I guess it's 100 books on there or something. Um, but I always am very wary of these kinds of lists because you have to have a good portion of different books from different sectors of American society, in order for it to really reflect the American novel. I think they tried to do that, but it's still heavy on popular books. So, yeah. Yeah, the contemporary ones, you just never know. You just never know how well they're gonna do. Some of the older ones, I mean, we know what they are because we've heard of them for years and years and years. Even if we haven't read them, they have some kind of clout to a certain extent. Phyllis is enjoying her wine. It's Friday. Um, yeah, I feel like for the newer ones, for the ones in the later books, or the ones that we kind of know. I'm not sure how you can pick them because so many books come out, and I feel like people are tempted to pick the ones that are just more popular. Well, what they did was they went, I think it starts in the 30s or maybe the 20s, is it? I can't remember. Wait. Um, it starts in the 1920s, 1925, and it goes all the way to uh, it goes all the way to 2023. So, oh my God, those Goodreads Choice Awards are the biggest. That's the biggest joke ever. Um, yeah, it goes to like 1925 to 2023. And yeah, 2023. So I don't know. I feel like y- like to counteract these kinds of lists, that as a book community online, we should make our own list. should make our own list and publish it, call it, I don't know, the online book readers, you know, books that you should read before you die. And we put like, yeah, and then make a list of the books that we feel that you should read before you die, and make it a list of 100 books, and have people, we'll compile the list, and then we'll post it on all of our blogs and on our, everybody can post it on their sites and stuff. Because I feel like we would come up with a better list than this, in my opinion. I think we would come up with a better list because we won't be convinced to just pick a book because it's popular. We're really going to take our time to try to pick a book that we really reflect that reflects as something that readers should read. You should read this book. This is a book that you should read before you die. Yeah, definitely Love Songs was there, and that was good. A lot of the Toni Morrison books, were there as well. Beloved, Song of Solomon was there. Um, no, I'm saying we should do one. I don't have a list. I mean, I could make one, but it would take me a minute, but I could make one. But I was saying that we should make one as a group of books that we think you should read before you die, or the best novels, or whatever you want to call it, list, and put all of our ideas in, and make our own list, a big list, and then everybody post it on their social media. Whew, y'all. Well, I could make a list, but it would take me a minute, but I could make a list. I'd have to really, really go in, dig in deep, and come up with a list of maybe 50 books or 100 books that you should definitely read before you die, or I don't know how you call it, books that I feel like you absolutely should read. Um, Bye, Margaret, because yeah, because I see these lists all the time, particularly around this idea of the great American novel, or the best classics, or whatever. You see these kinds of lists all the time, but they don't always globalize enough a variety, as it should. So yeah, it's an idea. Friday Reads Live, books you should read before you die. Very nice. Yeah, I think it's the best like that, because and we could even do it where, like, you could, if you added a book, let's say it's a book and it's a romance book, and you think this is a romance book that people should read because it's different from other romances, or there's something particular about it. We could have a section for romance. We could have a section for literary fiction. We could have a section for thriller and mystery. We could have a section for historical fiction. It could be like different categories, and people can add to this list. Yeah, something like that. I think it would be cool. So yeah, I feel like that's just something they were talking about today. It wasn't today. I think it was an older post, an older podcast episode, and I missed that one, so I was listening to it today, and it was about this Atlantic list. And then you have the book 1001 Books You Should Read Before You Die. I actually have that book, which has books kind of sort of from all over the world, but yeah. Yeah, I'll try to figure out how we can do something like that, because I think it would be beneficial. But I'll think about making my own list of some of the books that I highly recommend that I feel like people should definitely read that maybe that I haven't spoken of because there's some books that I have read in the past I really, really enjoy reading, and I don't talk about them as much because it was another time. Um, but yeah, variety. Like usual, this is always the problem. It's always missing variety. It's always missing the variety. So, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I mean, it's already 7:30. We've just been yapping and yapping and yapping on here. But it's been fun talking to you guys, and I will definitely be getting back to my reading this weekend because I want to finish one of these two books this week, hopefully this weekend. And I hope you guys have a good Friday with a lot of great reading. And I will see you next week with another Friday Reads. Bye.